Hi everyone, and welcome back to another No Game video. Today's video is dedicated to best units to pull for based off of limited factor and general usage. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So this is going to be the Google spreadsheets as always, and you can see here I have free to play focus for year 1, year 2, and it's blank on year 3. We'll explain all the reasons why, but let's go ahead and cover some criteria. Criteria 1 is they're good for general usage. So that means these units can plug and play to almost any team, and you can use them for whichever situation that you need them. And also they are limited in fashion, so that means they aren't acquirable through necessary means. They're not permanent pull units, so you should acquire them as soon as possible so you don't have to worry about them for the following year. And then also to maximize your gems, so having it so that there's only 2 units left for the year and then only 3 units for next year makes it so that you can use more of your gems to be like, all right, I'm a CB player, so I'm going to use the rest of my gems on clan battle, or I'm a PvP player and I'm going to use the rest of my gems on PvP. Or you're a waifu collector and you want to only pump your gems into Kokoro units or Carol units or only Yui units or only Saren units, so on and so forth. You only want to use your gems for the waifus that you care about, which is even better in my opinion. Now, why are these units here? It's mostly because they will help you with all forms of content. That was my main goal with this. So let's talk about Summer Karu first, since she's the first unit on the list. Summer Karu, you can almost say that you don't need her just because of the fact that she's for magic comps in particular. But hear me out. Magic comps are going to be the strongest in the entire game, and while Summer Karu is very meta, she's just going to help you with tackling magic bosses in general or enabling magic teams. Without her, Akari does not really perform the same way as Summer Karu, and Summer Karu just helps you leverage, Carol, New Year's Karu, who's also going to be absolutely overpowered, and even Ilya and all the future comps that have any magic related stuff. She's limited. You can't acquire her until the following time summer rolls around. So she is definitely one of my #1 picks for year 1. And we've talked about this for time and time again. Summer Karu is the unit. All right. And the second unit is going to be New Year's Yui. She is probably the best overall support in the game when it comes to helping your team stay alive. I want to say keeping your team alive. She's not a specific healer. She makes your team absolutely invincible. So if I go to JP year 1 right here, these are actually notes from Shinkru, one of the admins, I believe, from the Priconne Discord. And it's a walking invincibility cheat by many because she enables UB, provides a barrier, provides attack type debuffs, and also enables all sorts of survivability and continuous healing. All right. New Year's Yui is probably the unit that's going to be key if you're struggling to push content where your units aren't staying alive, or you're in CB, your units need to stay alive, or you're in dungeon. She's going to help you out with all those survivability needs. She's probably the second most important unit, or the premier unit that you want for year 1 if you're not even pulling for, Summer Karu, because Summer Karu technically is specific to a comp. You can plug New Year's Yui into any comp, and that team will automatically have more survivability just because she is present on that team. So those are the 2 units, and you could even say 1 unit if you don't want to pull for Summer Karu and you just want to go for New Year's Yui. And you know what's even better about New Year's Yui? If you go into the Fansubbing site, there was actually a time during the pre-fest there was free 10 rolls. So there is a possibility you can get free rolls during the New Year's pre-fest banner with Christina. So you might even get New Year's Yui for free. And if you're wondering, New Year's Yui even functions at 3 stars. So you might even have a chance to get her absolutely for free if Crunchyroll, follows that sort of schedule, which leaves you in the sense of, okay, then you just have to pull for Summer Karu, or you can save even more gems for year 2 or for more waifus in general. Now, some of you are probably wondering, all right, Bork, why didn't you put Christina and Mumi and all those other pre-fest units? Because pre-fests will always come time and time again, right? So the first pre-fest is going to be like around this time frame, and then we're going to have another pre-fest during New Year's Yui, another pre-fest during Mumi, and then we'll have another pre-fest, again during like Edo Kuka. There's gonna be a lot of pre-fests. They're gonna keep coming and coming and coming. All right, it's a seasonal thing. Like Nanika is gonna bring pre-fest again, so don't worry about pre-fest units. They're gonna be constantly available. Pre-fest is also going to be the best time to roll for characters, but I wanted to leave this for limited units that I feel like will help you the most and won't be as available as Prefess. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into Summer Saren. Summer Saren is by far the greatest support outside of New Year's Yui. If you put New Year's Yui and Summer Saren on a team, yeah, that team will definitely hit hard and never die, okay? Summer Saren provides action speed buffs, physical attack power, and magical attack power, increases or provides TP, and then not to mention provides crits as well. So she can provide crits, she can provide attack power, she can provide action speed, and she can provide TP. She functions at 3-star. You don't have to upgrade her that hard. You can probably leave her at rank 10. She is by far the most broken support in the game that will buff all of your units and belongs on any team, whether it's magical, physical, whichever team that you want to run her on. Summer Saren is right there for you, ready to carry you as a support. By far one of the most important units for year 2, and I highly suggest to save for her. She is like, imagine if Summer Saren was on year 1, it'd be crazy, because I'd be like, alright, you're gonna have to pull for Summer Saren instead of Summer Karu, but thankfully Summer Saren is on year 2, so thank God we don't have to deal with Summer Karu and Summer Saren on the same period. But then again, Summer Makoto is also here, but let's not worry about that. Let's jump into the rest of the units, which is New Year's Karu and New Year's Kokoro. And oh my god, like these two units, they're just absolutely nutty. New Year's Kokoro is by far probably the tankiest tank and the most significant tank, because she actually provides a taunt on her skill 1, which is absolutely amazing because it's actually rare for a unit who can taunt and keep themselves alive. Kuka can taunt, but sometimes she has some difficulties unless she's 5-star to keep herself alive. She also provides heals to everyone, increases overall attack power, increases, provides even more buffs to everyone. She's an absolutely amazing physical tank, but she can tank like magical stuff too, because she provides her own barriers to herself as well while provoking, alright? New Year's Kokoro is absolutely amazing. She's probably the best like overall tank in the game as far as keeping everyone alive, taunting and healing and providing buffs. She's just way too good for her own good. Like these New Year's units, they're broken. And then as far as New Year's Karu, she will change the meta. She will change the way clan battle functions. Thank you to Puppers when I was pretty much on Twitch explaining this to me. She's going to be enabling manual play. There's going to be a 10 mil difference if you can master New Year's Karu like damage with, lining it with like magic defense breaks and all that stuff. She is the hardest hitting magical unit in the entire game, and she's going to change everything with the way we play CB. Luckily, all the New Year's units are also fairly far away, and this is on, year 2, I believe. So Summer Saren is going to be appearing like right around this time frame, right? And then New Year's units are going to be at the very end. So if you're wondering, you're going to have at least like 6 months periods in between summer and New Year's, right? Or at least 3 months at most, 3 to 4 months. As you can tell, that is going to be year 1 and year 2. And if you're wondering why is year 3 blank, because year 3, the only New Year's unit that released was technically Nenika. So with Nenika appearing, that's like the only one that's really, jaw-dropping for meta. And even then, she wasn't like that crazy. She was more of a support. Summer Saren is still like the best support, but of course you can use more supports. I'm not trying to dog anyone's waifu. I know like there's a lot of people who really like Nenika, so I'm gonna stop right there. These are the units that I feel, the 5 units that you will want to have as far as everything goes. If you're worried about like not having enough gems and jewels like for everything, if you focus on only having like these 5 units that you want to like pull for, then you'll be good for year 1, you'll be good for year 2, and good for year 3. Everything else is purely if you're trying to meta chase clan battle or PvP, alright? That's what it comes down to for the rest of the units. If you want Valentine Shizuru for year 1, then you're definitely, a clan battle person. Or if you want Christina ASAP, then you're a clan battle person, or you're a PvP person, what have you. All these units are going to change up the meta, but most of all, I really wouldn't worry about having to pull all of the year 2 focus units, just because of the fact that you'll probably get them on Prefest or get them on an off banner, and most of them, Kasumi and Luna, they're PvP specific, and then Mimi and Nenika, you'll have more opportunities. All the Prefest units that release in year 3, there will be even more opportunities to pull them because Prefest will always constantly roll around. these are the limited units. They are the ones that you want to pull for because they will be exclusive during certain periods of the year and only technically available once a year. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some PvP as we always do. Ilya comps everywhere. You just love to see them, don't you? Well, let's go ahead and fight something and see if we can handle it. If I see a Ninon, I'm generally going to be avoiding it. Alright, let's go ahead and try this team on for size. Very interesting. We're just going to go ahead and go to my parties and load this one in. Usually, I don't think Kaori is tanky enough to survive this, so I don't like personally bringing her. I might try to bring someone like Kuka, but we also managed to get Eriko to 5-star. I know Eriko might die, but let's go ahead and bring her and see how this turns out. One of the things that I like with this new meta is there are definitely holes that you can exploit. There's always some new unit that you can use in order to get around them. So while Ilya meta is a thing, it means tank meta is dead, and it leaves more open opportunities to try different comps in order to get over the new walls that we are now technically experiencing, but not really walls. It's more of like a DPS check in some ways. So let's see. Now the purpose of me having Mimi 5 stars here is to get rid of the secondary tanks. It's having some issues right here. I don't know. Usually I have issues also with Atomiki, but since I don't have a particular mage, it's fine. Sometimes I like bringing Kokoro, but the thing is with Kokoro, she dies too quickly. It might also be better to bring Rima in. That way the units can clump up a little bit better and Mitsuki can get more hits in. If you're wondering, I don't think like the comp that you can actually use to tackle this team specifically is Mage Melt, but my personal issue is that I don't have like the Mage Melt units. Like I don't have like Anna, I only have Hatsune. Hatsune's only a 4-star. So if you're wondering what's the team comp to counter this one in particular, they can definitely use Mage Melt. But looks like I'm not going to be winning this one, and I've already reached number 1, so I'm satisfied and learned something from them. As far as I am aware, Mage Melt is definitely still a thing, but just note that stall meta is officially dead, and you can progress within Arena if you need to do so. Not to mention, this is also a soft launch bracket, so a lot of people are very, very competitive and want that number 1 spot and get like the most jewels and everything, right? So let's go ahead and run this team. I believe we can do it. Now the thing is, the way I took this was Ilya team, and then the one team that can sometimes beat the Ninon comps, I put them together and I just sort of rolled with that. And a lot of the times it sort of works out. Anna's definitely a heavy hitter, and with this, hopefully Ilya is able to get her UB off one more time, and that should hopefully finish off this fight. The fights that I'm honestly worried about is of course like the 2 falling fights, because if there's a Reno comp in the back, those usually mess me up pretty good. Reno, while she can't kill Ilya, is still sort of fun to like see like how well it pretty much flows, because I know Reno will probably have more relevancy as the meta flows and as we get more units, right? And when it comes to like saving for banners and everything, technically the general use like units, you could probably just go with like New Year's Yui and Summer Saren, and you know, you could probably like go really far with just those 2 units. There's technically no other, like there's no unit that's absolutely required for content, because for me, when I was playing in JP, I would only use like Nozomi, Maho, and then like a couple of units, and I was able to get through most of the content. Just having Nozomi and Maho at 5-star was able to tackle a bunch of stuff. Are we gonna get the W here? That's actually kind of surprising. I will not see it coming, that is for sure, because these are magical units. These magical units absolutely wreck. So yeah, we were going to win for a second, but I was like, I don't think so. Miyako can't hang in there. Not to mention, once they cast the UBs, everything sort of like, you know, just tumbles, right? So this is going to be the Ilya comp. I've been seeing this comp in particular in the last fight. Look at how thick Pecorine is, you know? She's just taking all of those hits, all that damage, and it's just so hard to actually kill her. Like, June is going to break before Pecorine. Granted, you know, June is only 3-star. That Pecorine does extreme amounts of work, long enough for her to stay alive and allow that other enemy team to deal enough damage. Let's see if we are able to take care of this Ilya, because she's the biggest threat to our survivability. Alright, so we managed to take it down. Can we take down the Maho? I'm pretty sure we'll be okay. But sometimes, depending on the way like the aggression works for the last team, you know, they are usually able to take down like this hodgepodge sort of like mage melt team that I've gathered together. So we managed to get a win in Princess Arena. Now it's just about maintaining, right? But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 20,000 subs, we'll be doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.